Hello and welcome to this video on if-else statement in Java. In this video, we'll be seeing about what is conditional statement and the different types of conditional statements along with some coding examples. So first, what is conditional statement? Conditional statements help you to make decisions based on a certain conditions. These conditions are specified by a set of conditional statements having Boolean expressions which are evaluated to a Boolean value of true or false. In our life, we frequently encounter certain situations where we have to make a decision, be it your favorite food, movie, hobby, or color of your shoes. In Java programming, also, you might encounter similar kinds of situations where you need to make decisions based on two possibilities, that is, yes or no, or true or false. You will learn more about conditional statements in this video. So, the major type of conditional statement is if statement. So there are four types of if statements available. So if statement, if else statement, if else if statement, and nested if statement. So the Java if statement is used to test these conditions, whether it's true or false, like I said before. So let us dive into the first type, if then statement. Now we have a program here to demonstrate the if statement. So let us assume that I want to check if someone is greater than 18 years old for them to vote or not. So first what I do, I initialize a variable int age equal to 20. So once I initialize the age, to check it out, I write if open close brackets, round brackets, and then I check if age is greater than 18. So this statement would return true or false, meaning 0 or 1 to the if statement. So if it is 0, it is false, and if it is 1, it is true. So since the 20 is greater than 18, the return value would be 1 for this statement, and if of 1 would actually print whatever I type inside this particular curly brackets. So I'll give So I give them the eligibility to vote. So this is if then statement. Let's try to run the program. As you can see, since the age is greater than 18, we are able to print it out. Now let us check if it's working for 16. We compile the code and we run the code. As you can see, no output is printed for this because the value of age is less than 18. The next statement that we are going to see is if-else statement. The Java if-else statement also tests the conditions. It executes the if block if condition is true. Otherwise, the else block will be printed. So now, in this example, as you can see, if the value of age is less than 16, we do not inform the user any details. So I think it would be a good programming habit to use else statement and to inform the user that they are not eligible to vote. So how do I do that? I do that by, after the curly brackets, I write the statement else and I open the bracket. There is no other condition. So our condition here is if you are greater than 18, you are eligible to vote, or else you are not eligible to vote. So we have condition for if, but there is no condition for else because this is going to be a default value if the if condition is not passed. So I write here system. So now I have printed the statement you're not eligible to vote. By doing this, what happens? Either one of the condition passes and we'll be informed some message that will be useful for the user. So now let us try to run the code. So since the age is less than 18, our else statement is printed instead of if, and now we know that we are not eligible to vote. So now if I again give my value as 19 and try to run the code, our if statement would be printed and our else statement would be omitted. As you can see, you are eligible to vote and our else statement is not printed. So this is about if else statement. So now we are going to see about if else if ladder statement. So it executes one condition from the multiple statements. So let us understand what that means. So we ask the user for the age and the user is giving 19. So the age would be greater than 18, right? So there are conditions where it is impossible to have such ages. For example, less than 0. No one's age can be negative value. So how do I include that in the condition? So what do? I check if the value of age is greater than 18 and I print them you are eligible to vote or else not eligible to vote. So if the value of the age is negative value, I don't want them to notice that you're not eligible to vote. Instead, I want them to know that the value is invalid. So how do I do that? So between my if else statement, I write another else if, and within my brackets I'll specify another condition that is nothing but age less than 0. Age can also not be equal to 0, right? So I give my both conditions here, I open my curly brackets, and now I inform them invalid age. So by doing this, what happens? My if statement is checked. I check if the value of age is greater than 18. So they are eligible to vote, right? So now if the value of age is less than 18, I have now two conditions to check. One is if it is less than 0 or between the values 0 or 18, right? So if the value is less than 0, I print invalid age. Else, my default condition would be the values would now range between 0 to 18. That is the age that are not eligible to vote. So this is how I do it. Let's try to run the program. Now, since the age is 19, I'm eligible to vote. Now I change the value of age to -5. So invalid age. And now if the value is less than 18 and with greater than 0, you're not eligible to vote. So this is about if else if statement. So the last statement that we are going to look at is nested if statement. So the nested if statement represents the if block within another if block. Here, the inner block condition executes only when the outer block condition is true. So let us understand what that means. So now I've checked if the value of the age is greater than 18, right? So I also now need to check if they are eligible to contest in an election. For that, they have to be greater than 21, right? So only if they are eligible to vote, I would require them to check if they are eligible to contest. So these two conditions do not necessarily need the requirement for them to be greater than 21. So what do? Inside my if statement, once I print out that they are eligible to vote, so what I do, I write another if statement inside the if block and I check if age is greater than 21. So if this condition is met, I check if so now there is an if statement inside my if block. So what do I do here is that, so I first check if they are greater than 18 to check if they are eligible to vote. Only if they are eligible to vote, I need to check another condition that they are greater than 21 so that they are eligible to contest in the election. So there is an if block inside another if block, and this can continue as a infinite loop, and I can have my if statement inside my else if statement. I can have my if statement inside my if statement, and we'll be seeing about them in the further videos. So let's check if this is working properly. So I check if the value is greater than 22. I need them to print the both messages. As you can see, both messages are printed now. So if I give my number as 19, only the first message would be printed and the second message would be omitted because age 21 is not satisfied. As you can see, only one message is done. So this is about nested if statement. So in this video, we saw about what is if then statement, we saw about if else statement, we saw about if else if ladder statement, and the last nested if statement. Hope this video was useful for you. See you in the next video. Thank you.